The presence of high commissioners and ambassadors here also shows how international cooperation is important in this fight, because wildlife crimes are often transnational.
The diplomatic missions and honorary consuls are here today to play our part in supporting Malawi to protect her wildlife. And in turn, Malawi is playing her part in an international effort to reverse the decline of so many animal species and to fight against the illegal wildlife trade. To coin a relatively new phrase, this is a glocal issue, global in nature with local impacts and characteristics. This isn't just about a bunch of foreign do-gooders in Malawi interested in animals instead of humans. This is a global effort to protect animals which need protection, but in doing so, also protecting the interest of humans. A decline in animal species destroys our environment, which we depend on to live, and we risk anarchy and misery from the impact of crime and criminal groups if we let them get away with it. Given the connections to corruption and other organized crime, tackling the illegal wildlife trade is a way to achieve multiple impacts. Certainly with the UK, we are training the police, the customs, etc., in skills which are useful on other issues. Nor, Your Excellency, is this about foreign ambassadors telling Malawi what to do. I'm sure you're glad to hear that. It's about ambassadors directing messages to their own citizens, visiting or working in Malawi to support Malawi's effort to protect her natural assets and to fight international wildlife crime. We are urging our own people not to intentionally or unintentionally support the trade in illegal wildlife products. Certainly, I think Malawi is making a very positive impact internationally with its efforts to stop wildlife crime. Malawi is up there with the larger countries in Africa, Asia, and beyond, becoming known for its action to address this problem, despite the many challenges the country faces. Your Excellency, the President's own leadership and interest is being recognized both in governmental and non-governmental circles around the globe. In short, Malawi is making a positive name for itself on this agenda, and I would suggest is attracting even more assistance as a result. There is extra international interest in Malawi's efforts because wildlife crime today has become one of the major transnational organized criminal activities, alongside the trafficking of drugs, humans, and weapons. It is the greatest threat to the survival of endangered species. Africa is on the front line, battling the poachers and traffickers, supplying the demand of foreign markets, with the majority of profits ending up in the pockets of organized criminal syndicates. The illegal trade in natural resources is depriving countries like Malawi of billions of dollars in lost revenues and lost development opportunities. So we need to do more outside Africa as well to address the demand for these products. Cases of trafficking, selling, and buying of wildlife products have involved not only Malawians, but a range of nationalities. We, as diplomatic missions, have a responsibility to ensure that our nationals understand that trafficking on any level is a serious crime. The participation of any of our citizens, from the trafficking of products like ivory to the buying of small wildlife trinkets, does serious damage to Malawi and our own country's reputation. That is why we have chosen to join Malawi's Stop Wildlife Crime campaign, a joint initiative between the government of Malawi and the Lilongwe Wildlife Trust. It is also significant that His Excellency the President is leading this campaign, showing both Malawi and the rest of the world that this government is serious about cracking down on wildlife crime. Of course, as always, there's more to be done. Unfortunately, there are too many national parks rangers involved in the illegal killing and selling of Malawi's wildlife. Perhaps a special task force could tackle this. There's too much collusion with poachers in the setting of snares. Over 10,000 snares were found in Lilongwe National Park during a 6-month period alone last year. There are too many corrupt officials to facilitate the trade, with rumours too of political collusion among some politicians and those in authority. I know that His Excellency the President is particularly concerned about this, including their involvement in the cutting down of Malawi's trees and forest reserves. However, Malawi is responding. We welcome the extra security protection given to forest areas, and also the formation of an interagency task force on wildlife and forest crime. We applaud the bold step of agreeing for African parks to manage many of Malawi's national parks under supervision of DPNW. The recent burning of ivory, which has no legal economic value, was lauded around the world, with the prospect of more ivory destruction to come. And we welcome the swift progress that has been made to update Malawi's relevant wildlife acts, particularly the outdated penalties for wildlife crimes which favour the illegal reward over the risk. I understand that the draft revised bill is now ready for ministerial and cabinet consideration. There is a quick win there, I think, if it can be sent to Parliament over the next few sittings. Your Excellency, sometimes it is not much fun being in government. There is much unfair criticism, mixed, of course, with some fair criticism, and little appreciation of the efforts being made in sometimes difficult circumstances. But this is a good demonstration of Malawi taking action, a good demonstration of Malawi being part of the leading pack on an international issue. This is a good demonstration of a collective effort, and this is our small contribution to support Your Excellency's leadership. Thank you.
I am glad to be here this afternoon to launch the video clip on combating wildlife crimes. I believe that protection of wildlife needs to be a priority for my government. We know the stakes if we not do so. We'll lose the wildlife species and biodiversity, and also lose opportunities for economic development through tourism and their social impacts on agriculture and human health. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, when I was requested to feature in this video clip on combating wildlife crime, I did not hesitate to take the opportunity. It is clear from this clip that if we not save one of Africa's most iconic species from extinction, then what hope do you have for the rest of our wildlife? Whilst we're focusing on elephants and the illegal ivory trade today, let us remember that our own survival as humankind is based on our ability to protect our natural heritage. That is protecting everything from the most majestic of animals, such as the elephants and rhinos, through to the forest, birds, and insects. The future of wildlife is in our hands, and indeed our own future depends on it too. Ladies and gentlemen, Malawi is known as the warm heart of Africa and a peaceful nation. And it's not acceptable for criminals to use our country for illegal trade and operate within our borders. Our natural resources will not be plundered for the profit of a few. The video that I've just launched today reflects the message we are sending to all wildlife criminals. I urge your media houses here today to help spread these messages and share the video wherever you can. I want to call on citizens to say no to illegal ivory trade and report any suspicious activities. To echo what the Minister of Natural Resources has just said, my government is working very hard to combat wildlife crime. We're adapting to the growing threat by strengthening laws, improving our law enforcement, and increasing our interagency and cross-border cooperation, among so many other strategies. Thank you to all missions and Lilongwe Trust work for the work you are doing. This is our shared planet. Wildlife and forest crime is our shared obligation. Protecting these animals is not only a sentimental wish, but an economic, social, and environmental responsibility. I therefore call upon all Malawians to be vigilant and work together to solve the plunder of our God-given natural heritage. With these few remarks, I declare the video clip on poaching and illegal wildlife trade officially launched. I thank you all, and may God bless Malawi and may God bless the international community. Thank you.